Welcome to second program, that is design a program in any suitable language to solve the commission problem, analyze it from the perspective of boundary value testing, derive the different test cases and execute these test cases and discuss the results. Right, I said that is we have to use a procedure for a life cycle of testing that mainly contains 4 stages. One is on requirement, second one is on design, next third one is on coding, and the fourth one is on testing. First we have to consider the requirement specification. Right, there is a story, the history behind this commission problem, how we're going to identify the commission. Right, then depends on the sales of a salesperson. Right, then the problem definition that looks like this: the commission problem includes a salesperson. He has to sold a rifle locks, stocks and barrels. Those are made by a gunsmith in Missouri. Right, then the locks cost and stock cost and the barrel cost has been fixed there. Locks has the value $45, stocks has the value $30, and barrels has the value $25. The salesperson has to sell at least one complete rifle per month, and the production limits of those locks, stocks and barrels has given. Right, in a month the maximum capacity of the production of locks is on 70, for stocks is on 80, and the barrels is on 90. Right, then after each town visit, a salesperson sent a telegram to the gunsmith with the number of locks, stocks and barrels sold in the particular town. Right, at the end of the month, a salesperson has sent a very short telegram showing -1 lock sold, and that indicates that is the end of the month. Right, a gunsmith then knew the sales for a particular month were complete and computed the salesperson's commission. Those has as follows. Right, that is, on sales up to and includes $1,000, a salesperson has gets the commission 10%. Right, $1,800, that is sales up to in between 1000 to 1800, a salesperson has gets the commission 15%. Right, on the sales up to, that is excess of 1800, that is more than 1800, right, he has the sales. Right, he gets the commission, that is 20%. Right, the program is to, based on the sales value, we need to calculate the commission. Right, this is the designing. Right, then what are these locks, stocks and barrels? Those are the parts of the gun. Right, locks are also called as an actions to be performed. Right, stock is for holding purpose. Right, then locks is for the loading of a bullet into a rifle, and barrel is nothing but once the action is performed, right, then the bullet will comes out of the rifle. Right, these are nothing but the parts of a rifle. Right, based on this design, we're going to write an algorithm for this. Right, that includes, right, the step 1 is to, we have to define the lock price, stock price and the barrel price that has been given in the problem statement. Right, we have to give the inputs. Locks, that is nothing but whatever the input has been considered for the locks, depends on that only we need to calculate the sales value. Depends on the sales value, we need to calculate the commission. Right, then if the locks value that is not equal to -1, that means initially the value of the locks has been considered of -1, there is no sales has been identified, there is no need to identify the commission. Right, if the locks value has been considered something, right, that is in between 1 to 70, right, it will enter into the loop that contains the input, that is stocks and barrels. We have to give the inputs for that. Right, then it computes the lock sales, stock sales and the barrel sales, and also the sales depends on the total locks, total stocks and the total barrels, that is multiplied with the lock price, stock price and the barrel price. We need to get the values of lock sales is equals to total locks into lock price, then the stock sales has been identified, total stocks and the stock price, and the barrel sales has to be identified using the total barrels into barrel price. Once we got all these values, we need to easily calculate the value of sales, that is nothing but adding of lock sales, stock sales and the barrel sales, we will get the value, that is sales. Right, once we got the value of sales, right, we need to print that. Right, then you need to identify, depends on the sales value. Right, we have to get the commission for a salesperson. See, if the sales value that is greater than 1800, see, if after getting all these values the sales value, assume that sales value is 1900, obviously 1900 greater than 1800, it meets this requirement, right, or this condition, it will enter into step 8, that it identifies the commission of a particular salesperson, that is 0.10 star 1000, because this is up to 1000, right. Commission has been identified up to the 800 for the 15%, this has to be added. Whatever the value you get here, this result is stored in this variable, this commission will enters here, right. Adding of this with the 0.15 star 800, that is excess of 800, that is in between to 1000 to 1800, up to 1800 he gets the commission 15%, but depends on this sales value. I have taken the sales value is on 1900, right. For that the salesperson has to get the commission there is on 20%, right. Then the result is stored in this variable, right. The commission has act as the input now, right. We need to calculate the total commission of a salesperson, right. Then commission, whatever the value you get here, that has to be occurred here, plus 0.20, that is nothing but we have to get the value of sales is on 1900. For that we have to use the 20% of the commission a salesperson has gets, right. Then coming to that, if the sales value has been taken as an 1200, it checks this condition, 1200 greater than 1800, obviously not, right. It will come to the step 9, right. Step 9 that says that if the sales value greater than 1000, that is nothing but 1200 greater than 1000, yes, the condition is true, it will enter into step 10. Step 10 that says that commission value has been identified up to the 1000, right. Excess of 1000 has been identified using this formula, commission equals commission, that is up to 1000 value has been considered here, plus 0.15, because I have get the value, sales value is 1200, for that salesperson has gets the commission there is on 15%, right. Star sales minus 1000, sales value is 1200 minus 1000 value already we calculated here, for that we have to subtract that value, here you got the value is on 200 into 0.15 plus add with the whatever the value you get here, right. That result is stored in the commission, right. Then otherwise if any one of the, if both the condition doesn't met, right, it will come to the step 11 that says that whatever the value you have identified up to less, right, it come to the step 10 there, right. It had to identify the value in between, see for example that says that the value of the commission has been identified, you have to print the commission value, that's it, right. Depends on this designing algorithm, right. We need to consider a code, right. Then that code indicates, already explained the designing technique, right. Then logs value, stocks value, barrels, total logs, total stocks, total barrels, right. These are declared as the integer values because I have chosen the value for those logs in terms of the integers only, right. Then log price has been specified, there is on 45.0, stock price 30, barrel price is on 25, like that. Log sales has been identified, stock sales, barrel sales, sales and the commission value has been identified. We require the temporary variables and also the temporary variable that requires C1, C2 and C3. Later we will see about this, right. Log price has initialized 45, 30 for stock price, 25 for barrel price, right. Initial values of total stocks, total logs and total barrels has been assigned as 0, 0, 0, right. First it has to take the input, that is nothing but the logs value, right. Enter the value of the logs, right. Then if exit, that is nothing but if you press the log value has been considered, there is a -1, right. It exit from the loop, right. I have to take the value of logs here, right. It checks this condition while logs not equal to -1. If this condition is true, right, it will enter into the first loop. It checks the value whether the logs value in between 0 to 70 or not, that has to check, right. Like that you have to read the values for stocks and barrels, again you have to check the stocks and the barrels has the range in between 0 to 80 for the stocks, 0 to 90 for the barrels, whether the value of the barrels, stocks and logs all are met these condition, right. That result is stored in the C1, C2 and C3, right. If of C1, that is nothing but logs value considered here is on, say for example I have chosen the logs value is 80, is it in between this, see 80 less than or equal to 0. Is this condition is true? No, right. Logs value, that is 80 greater than 70, yes, the condition is true. This value is stored in the C1. If of C1, right, that is nothing but, that doesn't condition, that is nothing but 0 plus 1, the value is 1. If of C1, yes, the condition is true, right, then value of logs is not in the range in between 1 to 70, right. Otherwise, if say for example I have taken the value of logs is equals to 50, 50 less than or equal to 0, condition is false. 50 greater than 70, condition is false. 0 plus 0 is 0. If that is C1 has holds the value 0 here. If of C1, if of 0, right, then it will come to the else part. It doesn't enter into this, it doesn't print the value, it enters into the else part. Now, right, else part that displays the value, it has to identify the temporary variable using total logs plus logs, right. Total logs value is 0 initially. Logs value I have chosen is on 50. 50 is stored in the temporary variable. If temp of 70, if temp greater than 70, that is nothing but temp is value is 50, 50 greater than 70, it doesn't meet this requirement, it come to the else part. What is the value of total logs now? Whatever the value is assigned by the temporary variable, right, that value is stored in the total logs, right. Like this loop, right, you have to identify the other two conditions for C2 and C3. C2 for stocks value, C3 for barrels value, right. After getting this, right, you need to print all the total logs, total stocks and the total barrels here, right. Then you have to enter again, you have to give the input for the logs, right. If you give the inputs of logs is on -1, what is the value of total logs? Total logs initially whatever the value has been considered there, like that you have to identify the total logs value, total stocks value and the total barrels value, right. Again, if you consider logs value is -1, again it will come to the while loop. It checks this condition, -1 not equal to -1, the condition doesn't holds good, right. It will comes out of the loop, it prints the value of total logs, total stocks and total barrels, right. Then after that, once it displays the value of total logs, total stocks and the total barrels, right, then it identify the sales value using the formula that is we already discussed in the designing part, that is log price has been fixed there, log price has fixed there, right, into that is 45 into total logs what you have identified here, plus stock price is 30 star what you get at the end, that is for the total stocks, plus barrel price is 25, that is multiplied with the total barrels what you get, right, that assigns as the value sales, right. Depends on the designing technique, we need to identify if the sales value greater than 0. See for example I have get the sales value is 800, right. See 800 greater than 0, if this condition is true it will enter into the loop, right. Then it checks whether the sales value greater than 1800. See sales value I have chosen here is on 1000 greater than 1800, condition doesn't satisfy, it will come to the else if part. Sales value that is 800 greater than 1000 doesn't satisfy, it will come to the else part, it has to evaluate the commission value, because I have chosen the sales value I identified there is an 800, right, then he gets the commission there is an 10%, that is nothing but whatever the sales value you get there, sales value I have considered there is an 800 is multiplied with 0.10, you will get the value of commission, that has to be print, right. See in this example, if I have chosen the sales value is 1200, got it, right, then 1200 greater than 0, yes, the condition is true, it will enter into the loop, right. It checks the first condition, 1200 greater than 1800 doesn't meet, right. Then 1200 greater than 1000, obviously yes, the condition is true, right. The control will enter into this loop, right. It has to evaluate the commission value. Commission value is equals to 0.10 star 1000, this is up to 1000, right. Commission equals whatever the value you get here, that has to be put here, plus 0.15, that is 15% he gets the commission. Then star sales is nothing but 1200 minus 1000, that is nothing but 200 is multiplied with 0.15, that is add with the commission value. that amount of commission a salesperson has gets, depends on the sales value. See the same case, if we consider the sales value after identifying the values here, right? Sales value, assume that you have to get the value there is an 1800 or 1900, right? 1900 greater than 0, yes, the condition is true, right? It will enter into, it checks this condition, right? The first condition, 1900 greater than 1800, yes, the condition is true. It will enter into this loop, right? It has to identify up to 1000, then up to 15%, then he gets the commission 20%, because sales value is exceeds the 1800, right? Then whatever the value of the commission you get here, or you get here, or at the else part you get here, right? That has to be print here, right? The total commission a salesperson has to be print, right? Then otherwise, see for example, I have taken the sales value. See, initially I have chosen the logs value is -1, right? See, initially I have chosen the logs value is -1. -1 not equal to -1. Is this condition is true? No, -1 equal to -1, right? It doesn't holds this condition. The control will comes out of the loop. It will enter into this, it prints this total logs. What is the total logs value? Initially whatever I have taken, total logs is nothing but 0, total stocks 0, total barrels is 0, correct, right? Then it prints all the values, that is total logs is 0, total stocks is 0, total barrels is 0, right? It identifies the sales value. Log price is 45, total loss is 0, 0 into anything is 0, like that you have to get the value there is a 0, 0 plus 0 plus 0, right? You have to get the sales value there is a 0. What is the value of sales? Sales is nothing but the 0, right? Then sales has been print 0 greater than 0. Is it true? No, this condition is false. There is no sales has identified, then there is no identification of the commission for a sales person, right? It will comes out of the loop, it comes to the else part, then it displays this message, that is there is no sales. It completes your commission problem, right? Then after getting the code, right, then next is an test cases, right? Here we are going to use the same technique, that is an boundary value analysis, right? How many possible test cases we are going to identify? That is 4n plus 1, right? Where n is the number of inputs. Here in this commission problem, we are going to use 3 number of inputs, that is logs, stocks and barrels, right? Then 4n plus 1 value is an 13 number of test cases, that is nothing but the minimum 13 number of test cases has been derived for this commission problem. Is it clear, right? The number of possible test cases has been given. You have to give any values, the logs in between 1 to 70, stocks value in between 1 to 80, barrels value is in between 1 to 90, right? Based on the conditions, you have to identify the sales value, right? Then whatever the sales value you get here, right, you have to put those conditions, right? If the sales value that is greater than 1800, if the sales value that is greater than 1000, otherwise if the sales value that is less than 1000, right? That much of commission a salesperson has gets. Got it? Thank you.